I made $100,000 today, and it wasn't even hard. Did you believe me when I just said that? See, you have no way of knowing if it's true, right? Technically, I do, but my subconscious also doesn't know if that's true. So today we're going to talk about, the power of affirmations, especially trying to speak to your subconscious mind, because what your mind believes to be true, I think we talked about this in the last episode, will manifest in your day-to-day life. Obviously, just saying this isn't enough to magically have $100,000 show up in my bank account. However, if I start to believe that making money is easy, which the richest people on this earth don't work nearly as hard as I'm sure you do right now, or even I do right now. The best way to make money is to make money for you, right? Which is passive. But ultimately, my point is, if you can convince your mind of something and really start to embody it, think that it's real, speak about things that you want as if they've already happened. And I just gave you that example when we opened this episode, right? Once you start to feel like, okay, that makes sense to me and my identity kind of goes in line with this thing, you will make steps in your day-to-day behavior that makes those things come true, because your mind thinks it's true and it doesn't want that gap between the reality in its head and the reality around it. So let's look at how this now shows up in day-to-day life with the way people typically think, right? So if you are someone maybe who, I don't want to say struggles with social anxiety, but you go outside and you have this disposition of believing that, you're awkward in public spaces, everyone's watching you and judging you, and they don't want you to be there. Let's just say the script in your head says, oh, people don't want me around, right? If you believe that and you go out there and into the world, you're living your day-to-day life, you're going to work, you're going to shared public spaces, maybe social gatherings, but there's this belief deep inside you, whether you're saying it consciously or not, that people don't want me here. You're going to look for evidence that that's true. But the evidence will also manifest itself because of the way you're going to behave under the assumption that nobody wants you there. There's a difference between how you enter a space that you feel you're not welcome at versus how you enter a space where maybe you're the celebrant, right? You're the center of the engagement. Everybody wants you there. Maybe it was a birthday party and it was thrown specifically for you. Imagine the difference in how you would show up. Right? If you know you're going to an event where everybody wants you there, you're invited, you're wanted, you're going to show up and be like, hey guys, assuming that people are happy to see you will also make you be maybe more warm, more inviting, more excited, more high energy. And that's also going to draw people to you because it's like, okay, well, who is this person? They have so much energy. They have such good vibes. And then your belief in your head of, oh, people want me here. Of course they do. I'm so excited to go to this thing. People want me here. You show up, you act like it. That belief system makes you warm and inviting and excited to be there. And then people respond to that and it proves what you believed. Oh, hey, I'm so happy to see you, girl, blah, blah, blah. That now is the evidence that proves what you had believed, whether consciously or subconsciously. And that evidence, again, is a response to you and your behavior when you showed up in the space. And that behavior of when you showed up in the space was manifested from the belief, right? So then you go back to the negative example. Oh, people don't want me to be here. How do you walk into the space, right? You're kind of on the sidelines, trying not to be noticed, maybe not really interacting with people because, again, consciously or subconsciously, the script running in your head is, well, they don't want me here anyway, right? So why would you show up to the space and be talking and blah, blah, blah? No, you're going to kind of sit to yourself, try to stay out of the way, and try to be invisible because you assume you're not wanted. People will see that behavior and think, okay, we're in this social space, this person's off to the corner, and they're going to make their own assumptions. Maybe they will give you grace and think, they'll just invent a story, again, based off of what they're seeing. So in their reality, all they're seeing is a person maybe off to the side, to the corner, not engaging, not really interested in the conversations people are having. They don't know that you have this assumption in your head that, that they don't want, wait, which direction is it? They don't know that you have assumed that they don't want you there, right? So all they're seeing is someone that seems a bit antisocial. And because of that, they're not going to approach you because they think I mean, think from their perspective too. If they approach you, you're going to reject them, or maybe you're not in the mood to really talk to people or fuck with people or whatever it is, right? So they, to protect themselves, are going to react a certain way. But now go back to your perspective, right? Now people are avoiding you, maybe not intentionally or whatever it is, but now people are not approaching you, people are not talking to you. And it's a response to your behavior. But you might not think of it that way. You just have that internal script in the back of your head, whether it's subconscious or conscious, telling you that you're not wanted here. And now you're living in the world, and it looks like a world where you're not wanted. But the world looks like you're not wanted, again, because of your behavior in the space based off of the assumption. So let's go back to my audacious statement that opened this episode today. I made $100,000 today, and it wasn't even hard. If that's a positive internal script, right? If I have this other attitude of, you have to work really, really hard for money. You have to hustle for money. You have to sacrifice your 20s in a job that makes you work around the clock. If that was my mindset, you have to work so hard for money, then baby, I've worked in finance. I would be doing investment banking right now. I would be at a private equity shop right now, because those places, the day-to-day expectations of the work in those spaces is that you should work around the clock. And eventually, when you climb the corporate ladder, you can end up with money and wealth, right? All of which is tied to your time and tied directly to your efforts, because again, there's the idea that you have to work hard for money, and then you act that way. But if I say, okay, I made $100,000 this morning and it wasn't even hard, which is really just a statement that affirms this underlying belief of making money is not hard for me, right? Then I'm going to look for easy ways to make money. And easy doesn't mean you're skipping steps, or you're taking shortcuts, or you're not willing to do the work. But even the way I show up in my work is different, because I will choose working opportunities that I genuinely enjoy, which I do. And even if I work long hours or this or that, it's with ease. I will approach my life with ease, because I believe that the financial gains that I should see are in line with that ease. So I won't feel bad if I'm not hustling. I won't feel bad if, I'm getting, a good 10 hours of sleep every single night and I feel relaxed. And I'll even look for opportunities to make that income in an easy way, which there is a very real world where you wake up and $100,000 hits your bank account. There are paid speakers who earn $100,000 just to speak at a conference. There are people who are selling digital products online and making that amount of money. There are people whose investments make them money while they sleep, and they wake up with gains in that amount. It's possible for someone on this planet. It's happened for people in the past on this planet. It's happening right now. So why can't it be possible for you? That's your decision. That's your decision. You can choose the hard side. You can choose the easy side. You can choose to believe things about yourself, because everything about truth and reality is all up to you, because we could be in the same room and have a totally different experience based off of the thoughts in my head, and that will help me perceive the space in a different way, right? But it's up to you. So if you're going to believe whatever you're going to believe, whether it's true or not, pick the good thing, pick the thing that works in your favor. And again, understand that choice you're making for your identity, for it to be positive, to affirm the possibility of good things happening to you, to affirm the mindset and subconscious understanding of your ego, to reject any negativity towards you, then you will start seeking out opportunities to make the things you tell yourself true. And that's the power of using affirmations. That's the power of scripting. That's the power of speaking about the things you want as if they've already happened, because then your nervous system starts to feel comfortable with the idea that good things can happen to you. And once it feels comfortable with that, it will naturally seek out these opportunities. It will naturally enter spaces and show up differently, because it feels like, oh, well, I'm a person good things happens to. And so that goes out and it proves it. You prove your own point. You behave in a certain way and the world reacts. You start pitching for opportunities. You start reaching out to people. You start making connections. But it all comes from what your underlying belief is. If you believe, oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Just keep it baseline. That could be for many reasons. Due to work, maybe you think, oh, I'm a student athlete, I don't have enough time. I'm a working mom or a single mom or just a full-time homemaker, even in a 2-parent household. I don't have enough time. There could be so many legitimate reasons to feel that way and to think that way, right? And then you look at your life and you'll find the evidence that you don't have enough time. Well, I don't have enough time. That's why I haven't done X, Y, and Z. But I'm sure if you rejected that and said, okay, I'm going to be neutral towards this idea. There's 24 hours in a day. I'm going to take an audit of how I'm spending my time. What do I actually do with my day? There's definitely time that can be carved out because it's being leaked, right? You're listening to this. I don't know what you're doing while you're listening. I feel like podcasts are a good thing because they're one of those mediums you can consume while still actually being productive or doing other things. But, right, there's a lot of time we spend online consuming and consuming and consuming. You leave no space to create if you're always consuming. So I don't have enough time, but then you check your screen time and how many hours are spent on social media or doing X, Y, and Z, then it's like, okay, would I rather be doing that? Is it making the results in my present day that I want? Or would I rather, cut back and be intentional and don't lose track of time when I start scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and then replace it with consistent small behaviors, even 30 minutes of high value actions I can take towards the life that I want. Because if you did that, who knows? Maybe you teach yourself how to invest. The number of people that start investing with very little amounts of money and are ready to retire in their 30s and 40s because they were just consistent. If someone else can do it, why not you? If someone else can do it, why not you? That 30 minutes of high value action, that 30 minutes of even just small consistent things, even if your goal is like, okay, not talking about money, right? Your goal is to lose weight. And it's like, okay, don't overcomplicate it with this whole gym program. Are you willing to just walk around your own bedroom for 30 minutes? I did that. I like low resistance things. I don't like having to wear sports clothes. I find them uncomfortable. I would walk around my room, sometimes naked, sometimes with clothes, whatever. I would just pace for like an hour and a half in total, kind of a day. Within a few months, I lost so much weight, right? So you don't have to think of weight loss as something that can only come from really complicated end systems that, professional athletes or really consistent sporty type people do. You can adjust what you you can adjust to a system that works for you. That is something you can carry on. You know what I'm saying? Like something that is sustainable. Anyways, we'll leave the episode here today. Very brief. I just wanted to really encourage you to expand your horizons and dream bigger. And even if it sounds delusional, honestly, yeah, this is an encouragement to just be delusional. Who cares? Who cares? Be delusional, because the worst case scenario of you're delusional and it doesn't kind of work out is like, okay, well, I hope for the best. And I'm sure other things will still manifest anyway. The time will pass anyway. Your life will continue anyway. Worst case scenario, nothing changes. Best case scenario, you're so delusional that the way you show up in the world changes. You adjust your habits a little bit at a time. You're consistent. And one day you wake up and you actually achieved that big, crazy dream no one thought you would do. So yeah, I made $100,000 today and it wasn't even hard. And maybe by the time you're listening to this episode in the future, that actually happened to me. Because period. And frankly, yes, it did happen to me. That's how I feel today. And I'm carrying the mood, the good energy of, yeah, it's 12 p.m. noon on a Sunday and I already made $100,000 this morning. I feel great, right? Like even if it's a lie, even if it's not something that's happening in the immediate term, I still get to feel the emotions of convincing myself that that's true. And that good emotion, that positivity, when you talk about manifestation or law of assumption and all of those things, it's the feeling that you want to embody. Because when you embody that feeling, it shapes your behavior. And I know it's already shaped how I've shown up for myself this Sunday and the things that I'm going to continue to do today, because I already feel fantastic. So pick a thing, whatever you can say to yourself that's going to make you feel good, and say it until you believe it, and then act like you believe it and move accordingly. So love you guys. I will see you next time. Welcome to Live LUMANI. If you're new here, feel like I keep forgetting to breathe. My name is Obie. Thank you so much for listening. I've been posting across other platforms, so if you want to check me out, it's just at Live Lumani, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Substack, and blah, blah, blah. I will see you next time. Bye. Mwah.